Okay, thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk. I am Janae Hancock. The time right now is 1:19. We are just a few hours away from our 3:30 newscast, so be sure to tune in to that. But right now we are going beyond the headlines. I do want to take another look at that file video you just saw here on your screen as the FDA approved a drug this week originally developed to treat diabetes for weight loss. It is called Mounjaro, and it was rebranded as Zepbound for the new weight loss indication. With that being said, I do want to turn to our guest for today. You're taking a look at John Jakisik. He is a professor of internal medicine at KUMC. I do want to thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk, John, and I know you have a busy day ahead of you, so I want to jump straight into this. I know you do research, you have a background in research, but are we seeing a need here locally for this weight loss drug? And if so, why is that?
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a need for this. The concerns about excess weight and adiposity have been going on for decades, and the Kansas City metro area is not immune to that. And we run a clinical weight management program through our division, and we have a waiting list of 700-800 people right now that are looking to get treatment. So we definitely have a public health need for this, and we're very excited about the fact that this new medication has been approved within the last couple of days.
Yeah, I was going to ask you your opinion on the drug. Do you think that it is safe for people to go ahead and use once it is available, expected by the end of this year?
Yes, I mean, I think that the trials have been done that demonstrate really good safety on not only this medication, but other medications that are very similar to it that have been out on the market now for a little bit of time. And we're really not seeing an uptick in any kind of major concerns. Yet clearly, you want to be seeing a well-trained physician who is very, very well versed in weight management and obesity treatment, who understands this. And also, I think it's really important that these medications are coming from the pharmaceutical companies that are generating them. There are compound pharmacies out there that are also trying to make these medications, but there's a bit of apprehension because of those other medications. So see an obesity trained medicine physician, and I think that you're in pretty good hands at that point.
And I think the next question is, we tend to see all these drugs coming out back to back, and we know Ozempic is also another weight loss drug, but how does it differ? How does this new drug differ from Ozempic and the other drugs that are currently available right now for people?
Yeah, well, that's a really great question. And, right now we've also heard that there are another 70 or so of these medications in the pipeline of testing, all of which are either similar to this current drug, tirzepatide or Zepbound, or even beyond that. Things like Ozempic and Wegovy, which have the formal name of them is semaglutide, are basically single action drugs. They went after basically one hormone, GLP-1. Tirzepatide is a dual action medication. So it's building off of what Wegovy or Ozempic have been able to do, and it's adding an additional component to that to try to make it even more effective. And the clinical trials are showing that it actually is increasing the amount of weight loss compared to what those other medications were giving us.
And I do also want to touch on this, that this may be the first drug to be covered by insurance as far as weight loss goes, but it is still pretty pricey, just like the other drugs that are currently available. I know this one is listed to be over $1,000 for 6 doses within a 6-week range. But does research show, let's put it that way, does research show that prices could start to go down as more weight loss drugs are made available?
Yeah, I think that that's part of the concern right now is that the cost is there, but there's also a very big backlog of the number of people who need and want these drugs and the ability to kind of produce them at a high enough rate. So the cost should probably go down as more of these medications become available. And it gives us an array of medications. But I think also that consumers want to pay close attention and talk closely to their physicians because there's the cost of the drug, but many of these pharmaceutical companies also come back with rebates and things that make it much more affordable for the patient. So really talk to your physician, talk to your insurance carrier, and pay attention to what might be available through the pharmaceutical agents to actually help offset some of this cost for the patient.
And do you know, John, if there will be long-term coverage, how long people will have to take this drug in order to continue to see results?
Well, it's very interesting and a very important question. There have been studies in clinical trials and also observational studies that once individuals go on these medications, they continue to see really good effects. Eventually, the weight loss plateaus, but that's okay. But as soon as the individuals start to come off of the medications, the weight starts to come back on. So it's just like any other treatment that once you start it, you're going to continue to see the really good effects while you stay on it. And that is a concern, is that a patient shouldn't go into this thinking, I can take this for 6 months, lose weight, and then stop taking it. Because once they stop taking it, the effects of the medication go away and the weight will start to come back. So I think that you have to go with an idea that there needs to be long-term use. And the studies that have been done to date are about 72 weeks or 2 years in length. And they really are showing good effects if people stay on them for that length of time.
And do you have any advice for anyone that is considering using the drug once it is available at the end of this year, especially for our Kansas City viewers who are watching right now?
Yeah, I think that there's one or two really important components. One, I do again recommend that you see an obesity medicine trained physicians because they're very well versed in how these medications work, how to dose them, how to titrate them, and have other options for you to kind of transition from one medication to another as necessary. So they're very good. So I really encourage you to see an obesity medicine physician. The second part is I think it's really important for our viewers and in the Kansas City area, and we're doing a lot of this work. You can't take these medications without really considering your lifestyle in combination with that. These medications help to control your eating behavior, but they don't cause you to eat more healthy. They don't cause you to become more active. And those two components are critically important to maximizing the effects of these medications, just like any other medication. So get with an obesity physician and continue to work on those lifestyle behaviors, because that's going to add a bigger benefit to you.
This is a very interesting conversation. John, is there anything else that you would like to add on before I let you go here?
No, I don't think that there's anything major other than, these are game changers in how we start to help to treat people with this disease. And we can call obesity a disease. And I think patients shouldn't be afraid to understand that, some of what is going on with their weight control is partially decisions they make, but also partially their physiology and their biology that's helping to drive some of this. These medications are just like any other medication that you would take for high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or diabetes. They're there to help you to become a healthier person. So don't be afraid to talk to your physician about using them, because they've been shown to be extremely effective.
You touch on some great and valid points here. Thank you so much, John, for joining me here at the live desk. Again, I want to take a look at this file video that we do have. Coming up at 3:30, we will touch on the side effects, and we'll also touch on more about the benefits of what you can expect from this drug. Again, expected to be released later on this year.